Hunting for Answers is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network and iHeartRadio. Welcome to Hunting for Answers, a true crime podcast. I'm your host, Hunter, and today we're highlighting a case that began in Berkeley, Missouri, and quickly expanded into one of the most unsettling missing persons cases in recent years. In the summer of 2023, a young mother and her daughter vanished. They were not alone. In total, 6 people, 4 adults and 2 children, disappeared. And when police checked the home, the FBI says there was no indication of forced entry, but there were signs that the occupants left unexpectedly. Since then, there have been no publicly confirmed sightings, and according to Berkeley police, the disappearances may be connected to an online spiritual group that investigators say is a focus of their case. This is the story of Michaela and Malaiyah Wickerson. Michaela Wickerson was a young mother living in Berkeley, Missouri, a small city just outside of St. Louis. She was raising her daughter, Malaiyah. In 2023, Michaela was living at a rental home on Graham Lane. Other adults and children were also staying at the home. At the time, there was no immediate indication that, within weeks, every person associated with that address would be gone. By late July and early August of 2023, Michaela and Malaiyah were no longer in contact with family members. Calls went unanswered. Messages went unread. As the days turned into weeks, concern grew. Eventually, Michaela and her daughter were reported missing. They were not the only ones. Investigators would later confirm that 4 other people connected to the same Berkeley home were also unaccounted for. The missing individuals were identified as Michaela Wickerson and her daughter Malaiyah, Jeriel German, Michaela Thompson, Ashton Mitchell, and Naaman Williams, all associated with the same address. 6 people, 1 location, and no explanation as to where they may have gone. According to the FBI, the group was last seen on August 6, 2023. Investigators say they were last seen at a Quality Inn hotel on Dunn Road in Florissant, Missouri. This is the last location law enforcement have publicly confirmed. What happened after that remains unknown. 6 days later, on August 12th, Berkeley police conducted a welfare check at the Graham Lane home. What they found, and did not find, raised more questions. Inside the home, investigators found no indication of forced entry, but there were indications that the occupants had left suddenly and unexpectedly. For investigators, this raised a critical question. Why would 6 people, including children, leave and not make contact again? As the investigation continued, law enforcement began looking beyond the house and into the group's online activity. According to the Berkeley police, the missing individuals appeared to be connected to an online spiritual community that operated primarily on social media. In media reporting, this community has often been referred to as a cult. Law enforcement, however, has described it more cautiously as an online spiritual group whose beliefs and practices may have contributed to the group's isolation. Police have not said that a crime has been committed or that anyone was forced to leave. At this time, it's not clear whether the group's departure was voluntary, influenced, or coerced. For families, that uncertainty has been devastating. Some relatives have spoken publicly about noticeable changes in the months leading up to the disappearances, describing shifts in communication, distancing from loved ones, and changes in beliefs. They say attempts to check in were often met with silence. For them, the most painful reality is not knowing where their loved ones are or if they are safe. The FBI issued an official missing persons bulletin on August 6, 2023, listing all 6 individuals. The bulletin included photos, names, last known locations, and a request for public assistance. Police have acknowledged the increased public interest, but have continued to emphasize that many details remain unconfirmed. To date, no arrests have been made, no charges have been filed, and no verified sightings of Malaiyah Wickerson or her daughter have been reported. By early 2026, investigators confirmed they were reviewing a social media video that may have shown one of the missing individuals. Authorities said they were working to verify when and where the video was recorded. As of the most recent updates, the video has not been publicly confirmed to show Malaiyah Wickerson or Malaiyah. For families waiting more than 2 years, every potential lead matters. Today, all 6 individuals remain missing. Many questions remain unanswered, including what led to their departure and why no one has reached out since then. For loved ones, the search for answers goes on. Anyone with information about the disappearances of Malaiyah or Malaiyah Wickerson or any of the other individuals is asked to contact their local FBI office, the nearest American embassy or consulate, or submit a tip online at tips.fbi.gov. You can find the link in the description below. Our thoughts are with the family and loved ones of Malaiyah and Malaiyah Wickerson, as well as the other missing persons. As we close out this episode, remember that sharing their story helps keep their case from being forgotten and supports the continued search for answers. For updates on this case and others, follow Hunting for Answers. You can also connect with us through our Facebook group and find us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Reach out if there's a story you believe deserves attention. Thank you for joining us for another episode. Until next time. Hunting for Answers is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network. For more podcasts from the Black Effect Podcast Network, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.